Have you ever been walking in a forest, maybe after it rains, and you take this huge, deep breath and just feel better? It's this weird, really powerful sense of calm, like everything's okay. Well, it turns out that feeling, it's not just in your head. It is a very real, very complex conversation that's happening between the living earth right under your feet and the actual chemistry inside your brain. So let's dig in and find out what is really going on here.
When you smell that rich, damp soil, especially around, say, a fallen log, you're not just smelling an ending, you're smelling an entire universe at work. It's the scent of life's incredible engine turning over, a process of total rebirth, creating the foundation for brand new growth, brand new possibilities.
And that really brings us to the big question, right? Why does that earthy smell feel so deeply familiar, so grounding? Why on earth does it feel like you're returning to a place you belong? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is buried deep inside our own biology.
Okay, so the first part of this whole mystery isn't just a feeling or a memory. It's an actual living thing, a tiny microscopic organism that has been shaping our mood for literally as long as we've walked the earth.
So let me introduce you to Mycobacterium vaccae, or vaccae for short. Now, this isn't some rare, exotic microbe you have to go searching for. No, it's a fundamental, incredibly common, and totally harmless part of any healthy soil ecosystem. It just loves to hang out in the exact places where life is breaking down to be reborn. So how on earth does a tiny bacterium in the dirt actually change your mood? Well, as you can see here, it's this fascinating chain reaction. When you breathe it in or just get some soil on your hands while gardening, your immune system perks up and recognizes an old, harmless friend. And that recognition, it triggers a whole cascade that tells certain neurons in your brain to start pumping out more serotonin. The end result is that you become way more resilient to stress.
And just to be super clear, this isn't some vague, feel-good idea. The science here is incredibly specific. Study after study shows that exposure to vaccae directly boosts levels of serotonin, which leads to things you can actually measure, like less anxiety and even better concentration.
And its power is, well, it's kind of astonishing. Look at this number. When scientists gave a preparation of vaccae to mice, those mice became so resilient to stress that they were 50% less likely to get a stress-induced illness like colitis. This is so profound that researchers are now seriously looking at it as a potential stress vaccine for us humans.
But vaccae is really only half the story. See, it works on our immune system over time, building up that resilience. But there's another, much more immediate effect that happens the second you take a breath of that fresh, earthy air. And this one has everything to do with the scent of calm itself. That immediate effect comes from this molecule, geosmin. This is the chemical that creates that amazing, universally loved smell of petrichor. You know the scent of the earth right after it rains? It's made by another family of soil bacteria, and it's basically the planet's own natural air freshener. What's just wild is how sensitive we are to this smell. Your nose can detect geosmin at ridiculously low concentrations. We're talking parts per trillion. And the evolutionary reason for that is pretty clear. For our ancestors, that smell was a powerful primal signal that, hey, there's water here, the land is fertile, and life is thriving. It was the scent of safety and security. And the effect is instantaneous. When you breathe in geosmin, that signal zips right past your conscious thoughts and goes straight to your brain's emotional centers. Your heart rate literally slows down. Your body enters this state of physiological calm. And if you were hooked up to an EEG, we'd see a big increase in your alpha brainwaves. That's the signature of a relaxed yet focused mind. So to kind of sum it up, healthy soil delivers this amazing 1-2 punch for your brain. You get the long-term resilience-building effects from vaccae, which works through your immune system. And at the same time, you get that immediate calming hit from geosmin, working directly through your sense of smell. Two totally different agents, coming from one incredible source. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but the biggest question is still sitting there. Why? Why are we wired this way? Well, the answer lies deep, deep in our evolutionary past. It all comes down to a concept called the old friends hypothesis. And the theory is actually pretty simple, but really profound. Our immune systems did not evolve in a sterile bubble. They evolved in constant contact with a huge diversity of microbes in the soil, the water, the air. These microbes aren't invaders. They're our old friends, and our bodies literally need them to learn how to work properly. But what happens when we lose contact with these old friends? Well, our modern, super clean lives have basically created this sensory starvation.
Without all those crucial microbial signals, our immune systems never get calibrated right. They get jumpy, unregulated, and they're way more prone to chronic inflammation, which we now know is linked to a huge range of modern problems, including things like depression and anxiety.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Our bodies are designed for the world you see on the left, one of constant interaction with a living, breathing world. But we now live in the world on the right, and this huge mismatch leaves our immune systems and our stress response systems in this constant state of high alert because they're missing the calming regulatory signals they evolved to expect from the Earth itself.
So let's tie this all together. The key takeaway here really is that the soil beneath our feet isn't just inert dirt. For our brains, for our bodies, it is a critical source of information. It's data. And the quality of that data matters immensely. All these amazing benefits we've been talking about, they come from living soil. Soil that is just teeming with microbial diversity, that has structure and that rich, beautiful aroma. Degraded, chemically treated soil, on the other hand, is effectively silent. It just lacks the microbial life it needs to send those vital signals of health and vitality to our bodies.
So think of it this way. When you smell soil, your nose is performing a highly sophisticated sensory audit. It's gathering data on the health of the entire ecosystem around you, and your nervous system reads that data instantly and totally understands the message. Life is working here, or it isn't.
And the biochemical result of a positive audit is crystal clear. Contact with healthy, living soil leads to more of the good stuff, like our mood-regulating friend serotonin, and way less of the bad stuff, like C-reactive protein, which is a key marker for inflammation throughout the body.
Now, the really good news is that reconnecting is simple. You don't have to go move to a cabin deep in the woods. I mean, that sounds pretty nice, but you don't have to. It can be as simple as getting your hands dirty with a few houseplants, or taking a walk on a natural trail instead of the pavement, or even just making a point to pause and really smell the earth after it rains. It's all about reintroducing those old friends and their signals back into our modern lives.
Because ultimately, this connection, it's not a lifestyle trend, it's not some wellness hack. It's a biological necessity. That feeling of coming home when you smell the earth, that's not a metaphor. It's your nervous system recognizing the exact environment it was designed for. It feels right because on the most fundamental level, it is. Your brain is built for it.